Good morning, everybody. How are you on this fabulous Friday? So happy to see y'all. So happy to be here. Let's see what we're doing here. I kind of held back on everything so we could see the whole process. Not the whole process, but some of the process of me getting up in the morning. Okay, we are successfully connected. So I am there. Until I get the hang of this, guys, it will show up as a pop up. I guess it was like 5 minutes earlier today, and that's cool. And then you get to see how I turn my bed into my desk. Oh boy, and I have no itinerary set up for today because I basically I wanted to show you um, something that I did yesterday, of course, because I try to crochet or do something crochet related every single day. And today, the only reason I'm not going through the ABCs is because I did not set up an itinerary. I didn't know if I was going to be able to be here. Let me tell you what happened. So what had happened was the family and I went out to dinner yesterday. I know how food usually affects me. So I didn't know if I was going to be here this morning or not. It basically depended on, how bad I felt after eating and how much rest I got. I'm sure you can pretty much still hear the frogs. Um, First drink of the day, water. And I do have my two bottles that I usually set up with in the morning. So I'm good. I've not had breakfast yet. I've not been up an hour. But after we got home, I did not feel as bad as I did. I was proud of myself because usually I can't feel that cutoff point. Um, I did not eat what I had in mind to eat. For some reason, my body was screaming protein. And my legs wouldn't allow me to go past the protein. My legs got really, really, really shaky. And I was only able to get a little bit of shrimp. I only wanted one rib, but they weren't sliced all the way through, so I had to get two. And I got a very small piece of steak, all protein. I didn't get my chicken. I didn't get my fish. But my daughter went back for me and she got my pot roast and she got my cabbage. And that was sufficient. I usually get like a little taste of everything. My daughter's kind of heavy handed. And that was fine. That was fine. I did eat what was before me. And I, BB, good morning. How are you, my love? I am so happy to see you with me this morning. But I did eat uh, what was before me. The stomach did hurt a little bit. Excuse me. I had already put in my order for my dessert, but I did not eat dessert. So, with that being said, I came home. I did not have to lay down right away. I sat up, and those two things that I told you I was going to frog, I frogged those. So, it's a struggle when I frog things, guys, because the base that my ball winder is on is not it's not steady. So I have to deal with that rocking back and forth. And yeah, I've not used my Swift yet. I've not pulled out my hanks. And I'm like so excited. I want to go in and pull them out, but I'm trying to not get myself in the position that I've been in where I've got 1,000 whips going. I dedicated myself to this yesterday and I completed it. So that's one thing that is on my list that I can say is done. I did not work a lot on my Stitcher blanket, but I did work on it some. So I'm proud of myself for that. Um, I've completed one whole, what I call section, and that's the 765 all the way down to the one count, my pink being my one. And I'm starting over with seven with the white. And then after the white, I'll go back to the all in one flower power and the red and pink. And I will work through that sequence until I get three complete panels done. But at least I've started on the second one. I do feel better today than I felt yesterday. My mood is a lot better. Um, I haven't really tested my legs this morning. Yeah, of course I did go to the bathroom and do my girly things. And they didn't hurt as usual, like they usually hurt. But sometimes that's not the complete test. I think where I was yesterday, mood wise, was like waiting for the ball to drop because I've been through that situation so many times where I was told, yes, everything is all good, you're straight, everything is fine, only for the ball to drop. And I'm right back where I was. And I think I was in more of an anticipatory state yesterday than really bummed out. But at the same time, it was affecting me physically. And I just felt like I had no wind in my sails. But it is what it is, such is life. Um, y'all, this is just so pretty to me. The pocket that I started making has not been abandoned, but my focus is still on this blanket. So I just kind of put it aside for a little while. It's right over there. So if I wake up in the middle of the night and feel like I want to crochet, that's something small that I can grab. You can see it's right here. Handles right there. Yarn on the inside to work with. And there we are. So I can't say that it's going to get attention today. Depends on how my eyes and everything starts working together. My mental focus right now is on this blanket, and that's what I really want to work with. And I'm pulling my hook, and I'm pulling my scissors. And my desk also becomes my workspace. Okay, a couple of things. Um, what I told y'all I want to do this coming Saturday. Uh, as far as old TV shows, I've been kind of thinking because what I wanted to do was like, excuse me, give out little clues and you guess what the show is. But what I want you all to do is think about some of those old shows that you used to watch as a kid, and compile you a list for tomorrow and see if how many of those shows that we watched together. I know it's going to be fun. Khadijah set up a little challenge for me, doesn't even realize she did it. In that she was saying, because of where she is, we probably haven't watched the same things. But I don't know. I don't know because a lot of things, are international, and even back then they were, because of the power of the TV waves. Oh my goodness. So the good news that I got yesterday was that I am fully covered on both ends of my insurance. So everything should kick in as of April 1st. And I'm happy for that. I am so happy for that. Oh boy. Yeah, like I said today, I think I'm a little bit more. I did not have coffee yesterday, and I don't have a headache today, and that's weird. Because usually, if I go 24 hours without coffee, the head is banging. So maybe my body needed a break from that. But there will be coffee today. Just, just got to throw that out there. There's definitely going to be coffee today. Okay, so tomorrow we'll go a little bit like, and what I did, I went back to the year I was born. Um, and I just wanted to see how many of those shows I actually watch. But then, in looking at this, I realized there's some TV shows that I watched that are not on this list. And I went from 1963 all the way up to 1971. And I'm like, did those shows actually come after? Was I older? But like, I don't see Dark Shadows on my list. And that was a show that I very much loved. I enjoyed Barnabas Collins and the Colin, was it Collinwood or just Colin Manor? I don't remember right now. But Johnny Depp did a movie, a spoof movie of Dark Shadows. I didn't like that so good. I love Johnny Depp. Don't get me wrong. He is one of my heartthrobs. But I wasn't happy about him playing with Good Morning, Amber. How are you? I wasn't happy about him throwing my Barnabas under the bus. Not really throwing him under the bus. He turned a serious character into a joke. And it wasn't his idea. I understand that. But, some things don't need to be touched in the Vivian. I missed you, Vivian. I'm sorry. Good morning. How are you? I absolutely loved that show because it had the drama, it had the romance, the old fashioned romance. Back when you courted and they had the family discussions, and there was just so much that you could retain as a child. You knew this was going on, but it wasn't, they still kept it at a level that it didn't destroy a child. Does that make sense? But I'll share with you, like when I looked at the list, I was like, I remember that show. Oh my goodness, yes. Did you all know that Candid Camera started in 1963? I think his name was Alan Fudd. And they would go the whole what's his name? Oh, hmm, catcher. I can't think of his first name. It begins with an A. But anyway, he's a prankster. Um, all of that came from Alan Flood. You know, way back in 1963, the year I was born. Yes, and you know the little pranks and stuff that they played on people. I mean, they have a whole slew of them out here now that do it. But to know that that idea originated back then, it was oh my goodness, that was. And another show that I really enjoyed was Perry Mason. Absolutely loved Perry Mason, how he could solve a case at the very last minute in the courtroom. You know, well, you know, he always solved it before, but he brought it out in court. Yeah, it was good. It was cool. It was cool. But what I have for 1963 was the Beverly Hillbillies. One of my favorites. Of course, everybody loved Jethro. He was just so yummy. The Red Skelton Show. These might be, I don't know. I don't know. What era do we have in here? Bonanza. Y'all, my mother was a Western fanatic. Whenever I would get off work as an adult and me taking care of her, I got off work at 11 o'clock at night, and I was usually home somewhere between 11:30 and 12 o'clock. And I would go in right away and just sit on the foot of her bed, and she would play with my left eye with her toes. And Little House on the Prairie. I think that came later. That came in the 70s, didn't it? But Bonanza and Gunsmoke. That's why I say I think I may have to go back further than 1963 because I did not see Gunsmoke on my list. And every night my mom and I were watching Gunsmoke and Bonanza and Rawhide. 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 Yeah. Psh, yeah. Psh. And Have Gun Will Travel. Y'all, I can tell you all the Western. I, yes, the Rifleman. Hmm. All of them. Okay, I told you about Bonanza, Candy Camp, the Andy Griffith Show. I think that fascinated me so much because it was actually in North Carolina. And that's, you know, of course, where I get my background. Petticoat Junction. Who remembers that one? My favorite Martian. That's all of these shows I watched. The Fugitive, The Patty Duke Show, The Outer Limits. The Outer Limits was like Twilight Zone. Yeah. The Ed Sullivan Show, The Man with No Necklace, His Heart. But he was like, whenever I saw him, he was more like Uncle Ed, you know, Perry Mason. Now, this is one that I don't remember, Dr. Kildare, but I do remember Wagon Train. So those I remember. And then, of course, 64 and beyond. But like I said, I'm going to go back further than 1963. But what I'll do tomorrow is something like, what show was this? Da 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 da. And then you guess, of course. Or hmm, some of these are too easy. Mhm. Da 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 da. Absolutely, the Adams Family. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Yes, that was another Western. I gave you a clue. It's a Western. It is here. It came out in 67. I must have been dozing when I wrote that one. But the one that I just did the tune to was The Big Valley. Yeah, and I don't know the opening songs to all of these. And what made me go down this trip, y'all? I woke when I was going through everything I was going through. I was like, I wish I could go back and look at some of the old shows, like. And I didn't see that one in there, and that of course is My Three Sons. And then I thought about that whole era. You know, you had Father Knows Best. You had um, Leave It to Beaver, Hazel. What happened to those shows, guys? They were so good and wholesome. I know times change, and I know we have to change with the times. Ah, somebody said the more things change, the more they stay the same. Hmm, not always. Yes, not always. Oh boy. Well, I really had a good time yesterday with my family. I did. So, as far as Florida is concerned, I don't know. I don't know. I want to go. I do want to go. I think it would be, no, not I think it would be, I know it would be good for me to be in a different environment for a little while, and it would give my baby girl a break, you know, because the kids, of course, would go and they'd be up under grandma. Exactly. But Amber, that's your heart. How young are you? Just a question. Just a question. Oh my goodness. I there's a movie that I have been looking for years, and it was one of the ABC Sunday night movies, but I don't remember what year. I remember where I lived, but we moved into that house. Excuse me, as I was a rising third grader, and we moved out of that house when I was in the middle of sixth grade. So we were there for 3.5 years. I have to try to think. Oh my goodness, I'd have never thought it. I'd have never thought it. I gave you a max of 32. I did. I gave you a max age of 32. I'd have never thought it. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You look good. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You look good. You really do. Um, but the movie was a young man was accused of the R word, and they had all kinds of. I mean, everybody was pointing him out and saying he did it, he did it, he did it, and he was so dead set that he did not do it. Of course, this was way before DNA. Um, and he kept telling everybody he didn't do it, he didn't do it, he didn't do it, and somewhere in the investigation, they found out that there was another guy who lived in the area. Yeah, yeah. It almost forced you to have family time. I mean, shows like Daniel Boone, um, Gentle Ben, Lassie, Gilligan's Island, uh, Flipper, Flipper, and Dark Shadows was my favorite too. Yeah. Um, BB said that she used to watch it in Spanish in the Dominican Republic. Yeah. Dark Shadows was the show. I mean, that was like, I'm going to name one. I got one for y'all. I got one for y'all. And the adults will talk about it every day. It was an afternoon or evening. I got you, hon. I'll see you in a little bit. Um, the evening soap opera. Um, Peyton Place. Peyton Place. Yes. Everybody talked about Peyton Place. Everybody except me. I knew it was a show. I knew it existed. Just wasn't my cup of tea. I tried to watch it. They were Flipper was my second favorite, and I named her. Oh, Flipper was. The other one that I didn't name. I didn't get to name was Skippy. Skippy, Skippy, Skippy the bush kangaroo. Oh my goodness, guys. I so remember those days, and it gives you the warm and fuzzies. Ah, yes, the warm and fuzzies. Okay, it's too early for spam callers. Guys, they start, my kids laughed at me so hard yesterday. We were at dinner, and I got one when we were at the table. I'm like, look, I'm in the middle of dinner with my family. I told you my business hours are from 4:55 p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. Please do not bother me outside of that time limit. My daughter almost dropped her plate. She was like, "Mom, 5 minutes, really?" Yeah, I give all the spam people 5 minutes to irritate me. Outside of that, you don't need to call me. If you can't get it in those 5 minutes, we don't need to have a discussion. And I'm very adamant. But what I did find helps to reduce those is, as soon if you have this feature on your phone, as soon as you connect with them, hit that record button. As soon as they hear they're being recorded, most of them will hang up. And I think they connect with the others in their little clique and tell them, look, she's going to record your call. You might not want to call her, because I've had such a great reduction. Y'all, I was getting close to 200 spam calls a day. And when I started hitting that button, I think I'm down to probably about maybe 20 a day now. It's still aggravating, but it's nothing like close to 200. First time I yawned. So y'all can tell Hadijah that it was not her. Guys, I love y'all. I just wanted to say good morning, dig my toes in the carpet, and come off of some of the jet lag and just kind of wake up with you guys and to tell you that I want you all to have a spectacular day. I don't care what the weather's like where you are. I don't care what you're going through. I want you to give yourself that good old wholesome smile and hug. And I know that by now, you know that I want you to love you, but I want you to know and feel that I love you guys too. Okay? And I want you to have an awesome day. And I will see you all tomorrow at 1:30. Might be 1:25. But at any rate, I will see you all tomorrow afternoon, Eastern Time, 1:30, here in the den. I love you guys. Have a spectacular day. Peace out.